Hi Taurus, how are you? I hope you guys are doing well. I am here to do your special on Venus's transit through Cancer, okay, which happens to have a massive conjunction in the middle of it, okay, in your sign. And I saved you guys for last since you are kind of the superstar of this season. And even though Venus is transiting Cancer, so I did them first since it was still their birthday month, you guys are kind of the rock star or at least your sign is, the aspects in your sign are, okay, because you have Uranus and Mars in the North Node all forming a conjunction, okay, over this period, okay, specifically around the 1st. So this is going to be pretty strong. It's going to square off to Saturn, okay? I did an intro on it. Make sure you listen to the intro if you haven't heard it already. I will be stopping to look at your chart through various times throughout, and I am going to look at it right now while I am pulling your Moonology cards and your other oracles. And then I will be pulling a tarot spread as well. You pretty much popped on me, so I'm going to take these. There may be some, newsworthy events around this time. Anytime we have Uranus and Mars in the sky and square to Saturn, it can bring some newsworthy items, all right? But I'm not really here to discuss those today. I'm here to discuss you guys and your immediate networks. If this does not affect you, it will definitely probably affect someone you know. However, with it taking place in the middle of your sign, you're pretty used to Uranus right now, but to have Mars meet up with Uranus and the North Node, okay, pointing to the future path for our entire zodiac right now, in the middle of your sign, it's sure to affect you in one way or another, okay? For you guys, the sun is already, there's a large focus, okay, an energetic focus in the 4th house right now with everything going through Leo, okay? Ceres is also there. Ceres through the 4th house, I've found, can be associated with breakups if you are, or matters of like parenting plans and things of this sort, or matters with your own mother or mothering issues can arise especially when Ceres is in the 4th house or near the access points, all right, the main access points, the descendant, the 10th house cusp, the 4th house cusp. Okay, and it just moved out of Cancer into that cusp, okay? You have Venus in your 3rd house, okay? And Venus will be squaring off with your 12th house, okay? So your 3rd house of communications are going to be squaring with the 12th house. So I feel like for some of you, whenever you take Jupiter and Venus in square, squares are always present us with more challenges. However, you may have a little, when it comes to a Venus square Jupiter, it's not usually as much of a challenge, only because, they're both the most benevolent planets, right, in the sky, right? So, the square can even be prosperous, although it does bring up some things. And in this case, it's going to enlarge issues or problems with communications, okay? It will also put an emphasis on some secret communications and the depth of those communications, okay, or non-communication, whichever it may be, okay, for you at this time, okay. It will also square Libra, and Venus rules Libra, okay, since Libra is another cardinal sign. So if you have placements in your 6th house of Libra, which is the house of service, okay, Venus will square those, okay. Sometimes, again, depending on what planets you have there, and I'm not looking at your own personal charts, it can be, beneficial or not so beneficial. Either way, it will present somewhat of a challenge. It's just how hard will the challenge be to your 6th house of service, okay. For instance, if you were to have Saturn in your 6th house with Venus squaring Saturn, okay, you may have some issues of health or duties as to health or caretaking, or if you're in the service industry, more duties there going on, especially if they were linked to your profit and or income, okay. You are the natural ruler of the 2nd house, but your 2nd house cusp is Gemini, okay. So I do see I do see that, you know, it will affect anything you have in Gemini, okay, as it moves through, all right, depending on the aspects therein that it creates, all right, which, you know, are not bad. It's just one house away. But as it moves through that, you will see a play out, and there are issues possibly for you that are tied to second house matters that may be popping off in the fourth house of home. In other words, you may be discussing income in the home, or like paying bills and things of this sort, and how you're managing those, okay, in the home, all right, or, you know, just topics related to income and income sources may be of relevance, especially as they're applicable to the home, since you do have Mercury also going through the fourth house in Leo, okay, and Mercury rules Gemini, all right, and then you also have, it also rules Virgo. But, you know, this issue of Ceres moving, it's, you know, kind of a big deal because it has this face off with Pluto during the middle of the, or during the beginning of this cycle here about, and it's still like right at the cusp. So right at the third and fourth house line if you're using whole sign houses, which can be, you know, kind of rather jarring. You may have issues with your mom around this time, or a mother figure, or you may have issues with someone else, you know, especially if you have children or coupled or in blended families. There just may be various scenarios at this time which, you know, need to be handled or dealt with that can feel rather heavy, especially in opposition to Pluto, since Ceres, you know, kind of battled Pluto to get her daughter back, kind of thing, you know, when he married her and took her to the underworld, okay? So they kind of have a natural face-off as is, and they will be facing off right near your fourth house, okay, cusp. So, you know, you have that going on. Additionally, though, you have this maximum amount of like torque, power, and drive, which can actually make you feel a little tired, all right, especially when it's on the fourth house like this, all right? You guys may, you may feel extra exhausted, okay, as this goes through, all right, even though it provides a tremendous amount of drive, because Uranus is such an outer planet, it has a much wider orb, you know, for Mars, for you to start feeling the power of that. So you felt the power of it long before the conjunction, and you'll feel it, you know, for days afterwards, and then the after effects or after quakes, okay? For you guys, it will be also in square to Saturn, all right? And Saturn is your 10th house. So, you know, that for you, you may have some upsets with career or changes in career. You can literally have a change of income sources, change of jobs, a lot of duties at work that also present challenges at home, you know, due to splitting your time between home and work, and, you know, items of income that are popping off in the home at the same time. It can just be kind of a frickin', you know, you just might feel like you have it coming at you from all ends. However, you also have a very strong drive towards change, okay? If you have anything, and some of that change literally may, with Uranus being the modern ruler of Aquarius, okay, and Saturn being in Aquarius, both of those planets work very well with Aquarius. So whatever happens this time with your career, though it may be jarring, might wind up being very fortuitous for you in one way or another, okay? Okay, after you get over any bumps involved with it, especially since you have the North Node for the future in the middle of your sign, and in the middle, and in conjunction with this transit. Okay, additionally, what else do I want to touch on here before I start here with you? Pluto and Venus. Pluto and Venus are also in... Pluto and Venus are also in opposition to each other over this transit, okay? And they can bring on, Pluto being in your 9th house, nearing the 10th house cusp. Pluto and Venus can bring on very intense love affairs. Like, you know, like, I'm crazy about them, and like obsessive a little about them love affairs, okay? They can wind up being very good. Of course, you know, you need other aspects between the two charts and stuff like that to also be in line to last a distance, but they can bring on these kind of love affairs, all right? And or other people asserting kind of obsession or controlling behavior towards you, including people that you're trying to get away from. So if you have like a straggling ex, okay, that you just can't break off from, or something of this sort, or from your current partner can display jealousy towards other people in your life, kind of thing. It's kind of one of these things, all right? And I don't see it. Let me just look at it real quick here for you. If it happens for you, you've had a big transition with Pluto passing through the 9th house. When it goes through the 10th house, it gets a little bit stronger. I've had it go through my 10th house. So, and it was at a time when I did not check my access points, all right, besides my descendant and my, rising, and, I did not, unless I was taking a full look at my chart, I did not examine, I kind of didn't pay attention to my 10th house like I should. Most of my planets are in the bottom, so I did not pay attention to my 10th house like I should. And had I, I would have made different choices, all right? So that is why every time I'm in here with you guys, and I tell you guys, if you have a major planet going over your access points, besides just your ascendant, pay attention, because they bring on major change. They just do. And, it will for you. When Pluto goes through your 10th house, you will have a massive transformation in your career. If you are older and more stable in the exact kind of career you're working in, it can be very good, it can, really be good, especially when it, makes good trines or conjunctions to Jupiter and things of this nature. It can be very profitable. And transformative, okay? And if you're in latter life, it can kind of secure your career. However, it can also kind of like totally change a whole bunch of stuff about your career. And when it's in opposition to your home, it may create tensions which reverberate in your household, okay? And when it is in square to your descendant, it can create reverberations in your partnerships, all right? As well, all right? So I'm just, I'm going to be doing a lot of, you're pulling with Capricorn and Saturn, all right? And you're pulling dignified, okay? All right, and Saturn is, at its high point in Capricorn and Aquarius, because it is the Hellenistic ruler of Aquarius, and I still look at it as the main ruler of Aquarius, although it behaves quite differently in Aquarius, and like, I don't want to say it enjoys Aquarius more. I mean, it loves Capricorn, but I feel like Aquarius affects it in a way that I like more. Let's put it that way, okay? Let's see. Needless to say, this is going to kind of cross a lot of major axes for you and points. If you guys have anything in the middle decans of any of the other fixed signs, okay, Aquarius, Scorpio, all right, Leo, it will be even stronger, the squares from those points. For the negative or positive, even though it's a square and it presents a challenge, if it's to an easygoing planet that works well with your other houses, it can be an easier square. You will also have a trine with any of your water placements, okay, which will also be very good. Like Pisces has Neptune in it, all right, it has Vesta in it in the beginning of Pisces. These things can go over well. Your 7th house is Scorpio, your opposite sign, okay? So you can get trines from Venus to Scorpio at this time, which are rather beneficial to love relationships that you want to take the distance, okay, partnerships that you want to take the distance. Sometimes when Venus aspects the 7th house cusp, it can bring in new ones or transform other ones depending on what you have in Scorpio. That said, it can also form those energies, like for your energies that you have in Scorpio could kind of play out from not so much your energies, but what's emanating towards you from a partner, whether that be a business partner or anything else, okay? For for good or bad, whatever, it plays out with, but I do see this, being, there may be some changes that you weren't expecting that are happening around this transit, okay? That can majorly affect your major access points and play off in certain ways. That said, I do see it overall as one that's going to work out, and one that's especially has, I don't want to say a meant to be, but a meant to be with the North Node, okay, in conjunction there, all right, for any grand changes you want to make, okay? Let's see what else. There are like some love stories that could play out around this time. I go over them in my intro, so definitely make sure you check it out, as well as some of the other things that I see in the sky of note. There will be some beneficial trines as well with the moon and Uranus that can heighten feelings of emotions around some of this stuff, all right? But it also, since it's a trine, I feel like it's beneficial for transformation, because there's also a trine from Pluto, okay? It's a loose trine, but there is a trine from Pluto towards the latter degrees of Taurus, which Mars will, hit Uranus, then pass towards the latter degrees of Taurus. And at this time, it can, it can provide, help with the emotions for the transformation, okay? I just really believe it can. On the 12th, there will be a full moon in Aquarius, and that full moon might, you might feel a little bit tired around that one. And I'm going to do a separate special for that one, but just with everything that happens, there just could be like some strong emotions and just like, I'm worn the frick out kind of thing can occur, okay? Saturn and the moon can bring on melancholy in general, and because there's such large transitions for some of the signs and or you guys and some of your networks at this time, you get your nerves can get frayed and frazzled. You are also a creature of your habits and routine and your home environment. So if there are upsets in your home environment or your routine, you take a little while to get acclimated. And some of the changes that occur now are going to be like no prep time to redo your routine. Make your new routine kind of thing. I think you'll be fine with it because you're already used to the Uranian energy. So I feel like for some of you, changes that were spawning or meant to happen for a long time, you've already felt coming. And, you'll just got to have better drive to get them done, as well as like, a little like igniter to, tee them off. Okay. There can be some towers, especially when we have Saturn squaring, Uranus and Mars, okay? If you have those, again, I would assume for you guys that they would emanate from your 9th and 10th house spots or positions, since Saturn rules the 9th and 10th house for you. Additionally, they will affect, your first house, all right, which is kind of a big deal. But again, you have positive trines to a lot of stuff, and I feel like whatever happens now, I don't want to say it has to do with you, but some of it may. Some of it may be things you wished for. It just may. In one way or another, or things that like are at its breaking point, and you might be the person to say this or that is at its breaking point, or thank God that happened because I was done with that anyway. One of those kind of things. Needless to say, I am going to get a tea or an espresso, and then I'm going to begin with you, okay? I'll see you in a minute, Taurus. Taurus, I'm back. Okay, I just wanted to go over some of these other cards that you pulled. You pulled the Siren over here. It's interesting, we're going to explore it, okay? Because you pulled 2 on one, so I put it at the top. Same on the Moonology. You pulled the Storm, the Gem, and the Mirror. I'm also going to say, if you have anything in cardinal signs, all right, which I already went over, okay, Cancer, Libra, Aries, if you have any of in those, okay, they are going to square with Venus, okay? If you have, or Capricorn, all right, if you have anything in, you know, that will create a little bit of tension. I think I said that in the beginning, but especially since Venus is there, I see it playing off, and since I'm doing this transit. And then on the fixed signs, if you have a sun, moon, or rising, because I don't know what you're in here checking, but if you have a sun, moon, or rising falling in any of the fixed signs, this square that's created in between Taurus and Aquarius will either square or oppose. You know, it would oppose, you know, square or oppose, depending on what you got where, the other fixed signs, okay? If you have a sun, moon, or rising in other fixed signs, okay? That will make it even more tense, okay? What's interesting here is like that you pulled this Capricorn with Saturn. Capricorn, structure, achieve, structure, dignified, and yes, it's well placed where it is in Aquarius or in Capricorn. And I do see something with the second house. So I see like a great want for stability here, okay? And you know, you can like stability anyways. That's part of your nature. All right, but then you also have the end of a tough cycle approaches, and you pulled full moon in Capricorn. And that full moon in Capricorn was just like a month ago. I don't think I put that one in the link in the rest of my description boxes, but I should have. I did a special on that one. All right, so you guys may want to go back and plug into that one, especially if this reading resonates for you. You also have the energy is gaining momentum, which is exactly what I told you it was going to do. And then you have a time to give rather than take, referencing moons in Virgo, and there will be a moon that's moving throughout Virgo, okay, in some of this transit, all right, and it will be trining with Pluto and Venus, all right, and as well as several of the, it will be sextiling with Venus, but it will be trining with Uranus and Mars, okay. So if you have placements in the middle of Virgo, I do see that as one of the hot spots. Additionally, if you have anything in the middle of the earth signs, okay, you will have a benefit, okay, or some ease in those sections of your chart. For you, Virgo rules the 5th house of romance, creativity, children, and is the house of joy, okay? So I see this as a good omen here that you have this here, and I have the white rose of hope, the journey, morning dew girl, and touch the sky. And then you also pull down here with show the world the real you, and it's the moon in Aquarius, full moon in Aquarius, which is what we have on the 12th. No one else has pulled these. So I saved you for last for a reason. But it's like you have the start of the cycle, which I mean, what occurs has been going on or simmering for a long time. Even if it's not out in the open, it's meant to be changes. But I do kind of attribute that full moon in Capricorn with almost the start of the beginning of this cycle, where people felt a lot of tension, and was a particularly important point because I felt like a lot of the energy was simmering under the surface. Okay, a scorpionic transformative energy. I think it's called like molten lava under a buck moon or something. I'll make sure I put it in the description box of yours. I pulled modern goddesses, and then I'm pulling some lunar mansions and more traditional goddesses, because with this Venus transit and the things that I see playing out, I expect that we will have both masculine and feminine energies, all right, popping up at this time, okay? They may be tensions coming from you. They may be people that you want to go towards. It just depends on how it plays out in your particular chart. But I've pulled 4 for every sign. You pulled 3 that I have not pulled for anyone else. And the only one that I have pulled for someone else is Oscar Wilde, okay? And I'm getting these vibes here, all right? Besides this Capricorn structure, dignified 2nd house, okay, with this siren, and then you have the storm, the gem, and the mirror. Okay, that there's some other stuff simmering here. All right, especially with the fact that Mars rules your 12th house. All right, so remember what I said about some secretive stuff. And for those of you that are involved, Mars rules drive, you know, and courage. It also rules passion. All right, and this is a Venus transit. So some of you may have temptations or be involved in some sort of love affair. And that love affair may feel like it's forbidden for some reason, okay? Whether it is or not, or whether it's good for your overall gonna pull clarifiers in here, and I expect some of it to show up in your general reading here. But I just, you know, you also pulled Marilyn Monroe. So I do feel like nobody else has pulled her, that there's somebody in your energy that's like a sex symbol to you, or very sexy to you, or this is you, Taurus. All right. And then you also pulled Gandhi, which I love, and I've actually never pulled at all before. And so I feel like there's going to be some peaceful statements in that. They're going to help you relax over this stead, all right, during different parts of this stead. And I think that you're going to need it because you have the maximum force of electricity and the motor, you know, emanating out of your sign, which is kind of going to let off the entire zodiac. You're pulling here with Kali, okay, attributed to the goddess for Sagittarius, all right? And you will have, because of the energy through Leo, you're going to have trines to everything in Sagittarius, okay? So I also deem that that's very beneficial because we have the Sun and Jupiter. So you're going to have like a lot of positive energy. Hi, Taurus, I'm back with you. I have the kitty in here, so I have a new kitty, and I haven't been sleeping well because my children have wanted to sleep on top of me, as well as the cat, with the cat who's under a sheet right now behind the camera. Anyways, there are some themes here that I see popping up for you, Taurus, and one of them is secret plans. Okay, I don't know how it's going to play out yet. For some of you, I feel like it has to do with love. Okay, for some of you, I feel like you maybe have somebody around that's either tempting you or somebody that you've fallen. I feel like there's something here going on between reconciling a deep sexual relationship versus a casual one, or something of this sort. Okay, and possibly more than one person here involved. I don't know why I'm feeling that way. Well, you end down here with two paths, okay? Could be a career path, but you also pulled the mirror and the moon, okay? And that happens, that full moon happens towards the end. So I feel like something's here, okay? You've pulled Kali, all right? And Kali is a Hindu goddess, all right? She was known to do a victory dance that shook the earth, okay? And her victory dance got so great that she like accidentally trampled people, all right? She was very, very smart. You know, she was very, very well taught on metaphysics and other things of this nature, and had a good relationship with her husband. But she was also a very tough warrior, okay? And she kind of has this otherworldly, underworldly kind of vibe to her. Okay, she's also like a goddess of like tantric sex. Okay, so and I would say that real tantric sex is an 8th house sexual relationship, not a 5th house sexual relationship. Although I guess if you fell in love with somebody in the 5th house and stayed with them, because 5th house can also, you know, and stayed with them, it would turn into an 8th house sexual relationship, which would probably be the best combo of both worlds. Is the best combo of both worlds. But there's something here about structure, all right? And there's something here about victory too, because you also have this palace here. You have a storm, which is interesting because you pulled the storm with the fountain, and the fountain is the lunar mansion card for the new moon, which is taking place now, like yesterday on the 28th, and is active for about 2 weeks, all right? And it's about overwhelming like creativity and the spark of creativity in yourself and in others, and you know, it's great for seeds of creativity. However, it also will affect the 5th house, which is romance. For you, it's your 4th house, okay? So feel like something very rich and fertile here is going on here in your 4th and 5th house areas here, okay, as well as 8th house areas, okay, as well as 2nd house areas, as well as the structures that are squaring off to Taurus in your sign. And I feel like it might be just a little bit jarring. Additionally, I feel like some of you may have pent-up sexual energy. I'm just going to say that because Mars rules Aries, and Aries is in your 12th house cusp. So that is not a normal place for the Ram. The Ram does not like to be in the 12th house, okay? Because the Ram starts off the zodiac. The Ram likes to lead, and he does not like to pent his energy up, okay? Or hers. Something here may crack, all right? If you've had a lot of passion or feelings that you've been holding back, something here may crack. You know, and that can be towards a project too. It can be towards a new project. It's just going to play out differently. I'm just seeing there's definitely some sexuality here coming up as well. But those are going to crack, you know, by the time that this conjunction happens. And it may be because you're ready to make a change of rather some magnitude on several different levels here, okay? You know, we're just going to see where it takes us, okay? With the storm here on the fountain, it's almost like, what's wrong with the fountain that there's a storm to your creativity? Like there's some creative block, okay? And then with these Saturn and Capricorn aspects, Saturn-like structure, he tries to keep himself bound, you know, duty and structure, and be the goat and climb and work and take care of your stuff, you know, and doesn't like to go out of its boundaries that much, okay? But here you got a mix. So there's some sort of dichotomy with that here, okay? Also down here on the gem, you pulled the gem. So I do feel like you found a gem in a person or a thing or something along this Venus transit, okay? Could be a new source of income. Could be, it's something highly valuable. It also looks very, very beautiful. It looks like a beautiful gem. I mean, it's multicolors. It's a very nice gem. And it looks like it's like a needle in a haystack thing. It's like you didn't expect to find this, whatever it is for you, okay? And then you have the palace here with it, okay, which is linked to 25 degrees of Aries to 8 degrees of Taurus, okay? So that's like right at your house cusp, all right? And through the end of Aries and the beginning of Taurus, if you are a true Taurus rising, all right? So I feel like something with the planetary energies, you know, that may have already passed, you may have already found this gem. However, by the end, middle, or somewhere in this transit, you may get your hands on this gem. And with the palace here falling beside it, all right, one of the warnings of the palace is about like indulgence and also about boastfulness and like not boasting or bragging about your sensual pleasures or something of this sort. So I'm getting this vibe here that, you know, there may be something here with love or something here that comes up for you, all right? Or some gem or something, you know? And the siren, even though it appears here and it is a sexual symbol, could refer to you setting off decoys or using some sort of decoys to put people off your scent. It's just what I'm getting, okay? In one manner or another. There are also at least two warnings here, not to brag about what you have, okay? I'm not saying that you kiss and tell, all right? But like, there's something here where others could be jealous of what you get in one way or another. Or you could have repercussions due to cleanup if you brag about something pleasurable or something like that that you get here, okay? It's just coming to me here like this, okay? We're going to see here, Taurus, okay? There will be a storm. You got a storm here, okay? I am going to pull a couple clarifiers on these. Outsides, before I go to the inside, these have played off crazy in the reading. So definitely don't miss your sun, moon, rising, and crosswatch. Although I will tell you that on some things I don't go into a super deep dive. I've tried to, I don't know why, I got the feeling to do that on some, and I just did. Anyways, I will dive here because it's impossible not to. But there's something here, okay, with this Gandhi thing. It's like, where you find life, there is love. Happiness is when you are in harmony with your own soul. Forgiveness is a sign of strength. It is the weak who cannot forgive. And there may be a need for you to forgive someone over the course of this transit. Okay? And to recognize others' ability to forgive as well. Okay? And this can happen anyway just because of the structural changes and things that are going on, all right? You also have Laverne Cox, all right, that says, no one's going to have pleasure on your behalf. Go out and claim yours now. Let them love you for who you really are. Embrace those closest to you so your warmth and power make them strong like you. This seems very like Taurinian bull-like to me. I'm getting these vibes off that, okay? Marilyn Monroe here says, orgasms don't exist. It's better to spend your time reading Ulysses. That's a real shame that she said that. Enjoy your wedding day. You only get to do that 3 or 4 times in your life. I only want to get married once, so I haven't got married yet because I only want to marry once. Never pick stability over a good time. Okay, this may be a siren that's showing up for you. This may be you. In one way or another, or something here of this sort, okay? And you have Oscar Wilde, I can resist everything except temptation. Hearts are made to be broken. True friends stab you in the front. Okay. Great author, by the way. Judgment is popping out. So again, there's going to be some mega changes here. I mean, I expect this for you. I'm just trying to let this sink in here. I want to pull on this siren and Callie to begin. And then the storm, and then we're gonna like make our way over here. There is some journey here, and there's some storm that's created by your own creativity here with the fountain, and it may be popping off between yesterday and the next 2 weeks here. Something about your fountain, which makes no sense, your own creativity, sets off some sort of storm. Okay, this is creative spark. It's also good for love. It's also good for structures, okay? And again, this is the lunar mansion for the new moon, which just took place yesterday that you pulled here. Nobody else has pulled it. I don't think anybody else has pulled that now. And you were the last one. On this siren, yeah, this is somebody like, this might be somebody that you want, or you are the siren, and you're not going after anybody. Like, okay, I get the 8 of Pentacles in reverse, the Hierophant, and the Hangman. So I feel like there's somebody that some of you want that you haven't gone after or you've held back from. I just do. Because of a commitment. Others of you may have a project at work that you feel like you can't go forward or invest in because of a blockade or a decoy of some kind. And it could have to do with work. Okay? I'm just going to say it because it could. I don't think it does, but I'm going to say it. All right, give me this Callie. We have Taurian energy popping up on that siren, as well as the Hangman, Pisces, or Neptune energy, okay? On this Callie, we get the 8 of Cups, holy shit, the 7 of Rods, and the 9 of Cups. You walked away or blocked out a wish fulfillment, Taurus? That's what I pulled on that. There's something here up here. Did you fall for the siren and drop the tantric goddess? If you are with the siren or a decoy, or there was some decoy, it's like you're pulling back your energy. 8 of Pentacles in reverse, or someone else is. But your card is popping here with it, or you're in a hanged man place here with it somehow. You're waiting, or you're trying to put yourself in a higher state of consciousness, which can be tied to Neptune here, all right, which is going to be trining. But there's also a sextile between Pluto and Neptune, all right, which do form what's called a finger of God with Mercury, okay, around the 1st, all right, which is opposing it in Leo. And it's like, it creates this thing where Neptune's the higher octave of love or creativity or spirituality, right? Of Venus, right? Pluto is like deep, deep transformation. So I do feel like there's something very, very deep and high level here that may be blockaded off from racing thoughts in your own mind or thoughts about home or something here, all right? To top that shit off, Saturn, which is extremely restricted, is right in the middle of those, and right in between Neptune and Pluto. It's like, don't float too high in the clouds or something like this. Don't dream too big. Don't, even if it's about changing your life in a positive way, okay? In a negative way, I mean, it could play out in a negative way, but this is not one of those conjunctions that I see, it's sextiles that I see too negatively. However, this energy in between them, it's like you have to use humility to rectify the those aspects right now. Humility is the key to being able to use that sextile while like reconciling this thing here with Saturn and whatever passes through Leo around middle decan, latter middle decan, 25 degrees. Okay, and it's gonna like occur again and again and again over this cycle. So it's like, if you didn't like it the first time, here, get in the ring again. If you didn't like it the second time, here it is again. But it'll also be trining any of the fire signs, which again, you have that 12th house Jupiter thing here going, all right? So I feel like there's a lot of stuff in the burner that's like getting bigger for you in your 12th house, okay? And your 8th house is Sagittarius, okay? That's deep sexual relationships, legacy, inheritance issues, relationships that wind up in death, taxes, issues of this nature, okay? Maybe especially on your mind, as well as 7 of Pentacles just fall out. Okay, on that, let's keep going. Give me this storm. Knight of Cups, Ace of Cups, King of Rods. If you have fire in your chart, this is you. Alternatively, you could become the King of Rods even if you don't have fire in your chart, with Mars and Uranus conjunct in the middle of your sign, just because you can. Because Mars is just, I mean, Mars is the ruling planet for Aries, and if you've had shit simmering there for a long, long time that's been pent up, it's gonna, you could turn into a King or Queen of Rods even if you don't have much fire in your chart. On this storm, it looks highly tied to something romantic, and it also looks tied to either a romantic interest that's brand new, could be a creative project, okay? Could be. I'm just going to keep saying it. I mean, I don't think it's going to apply to the large majority of you. There's something here that lets off your fire, and it's going to be in romance. Knight of Cups, Ace of Cups, King of Rods. That's something you want real bad and that you are ready to go after with all your might. King of Rods goes after something with all of his might, okay? For whatever reason, something that you want may create a storm. I happen to like storms, but I like to be inside during them, but you know what I mean. There's something here that could create a storm that you want to go after, or somebody that wants to go after you that could create a mild storm in your life. Male or female, this person is older, mature, very ambitious, knows what they want and goes after it when they see it. Doesn't give up easily. All right, let's go to this gem. What is this gem? On this gem, I get the 7 of Pentacles, the Tower, and the 4 of Cups in reverse. And again, I told you something. I mean, I expected towers, especially for you, but I've had them for every single sign. It's totally to be expected over this transit, okay? You cannot make an omelet without breaking a few eggs here, okay? Give me this mirror. We're going to keep going. I'm going to probably pull your tarot spread, and then I'm going to go back further, because these aren't love readings, but if love pops up, which I got to read it, you know, on the mirror, I get the Queen of Pentacles, the Wheel of Fortune, and the 3 of Swords in reverse. There may be some significant other, could be any divine feminine figure representative of a Queen of Pentacles, Virgo, Capricorn, Tauranian energy, therein represented here. This person may be a mirror to you, or you to them, or something here, but there's something here about timing here that takes place. And again, this is following along where this 2 paths, I feel like a 2 paths diverge in a wood or something like this. And what is that? What is the line from the Robert Frost? And something took the one less traveled. I'm getting these vibes for you, okay? But I'm not going to say it's going to be easy to pick a path here, okay? And for some of you, this just may be to your career, okay? Just may. Tesla. She was born the day after the eclipse that started off this cycle here of this massive, like, north node, south node thing here. She was born May 1st. Tesla. And I'm sure some vet named her, but he gave her the perfect name. So I don't think I'm changing it, although I may add something else to it. All right. Give me 3 on this Gandhi. This could be somebody around you that offers you sage advice when you really, really need it at this time. Okay, my deck is in reverse, so I'm turning it around. All right. There's some sort of like passionate, again, there's something here with communications or movement that have to do with something new that's taking root, okay? And it could be about freeing yourself from your own imprisonment here, because the 8 of Swords is here on this Gandhi. Okay, so something about freeing yourself during this time is going to be highly linked to your ability to forgive something. And it could be in past regressions with somebody else, you know? It could revolve around communications that you read that bothered you. For some of you it could. In some way or another that like replay in your mind or something here, okay? You are pulling here with the 6 of Wands, the King of Pentacles, I love that, there you are. The 7 of Pentacles, and the Knight of Cups. Oh, Taurus, all right, that is looking really, really good, okay? There's some sort of victory in which you may be, again, there may be like some sort of victory dance here over some victory that you have here, all right? And I'm going to warn you against boastful bragging or about your wins here during this period. Wheel of Fortune just fell out, okay? They could have to do with a creative offer or love, okay? And where you want to plant your harvest. And you may feel like this guy on top of this buck here, all right? You may really want to like scream, you know, whatever the hell you just accomplished. But you need to not. Zip it right now, okay? Zip it. Whatever it is, zip it. Okay, let's pull on this gem and this palace here. This is getting very interesting. Definitely listen to the intro. I don't know what it is, but you got something here. You got something here going on. 7 of Wands under this palace and the gem. King of Wands. 4 of Swords. 3 of Swords. That looks kind of painful. It's like something here, Taurus. We're going to figure it out. What are you doing? Tesla. Tesla. Oh my God. She's like on top of a painting right now. Okay. I may have to pause you in a second here. She's a Taurus. She's a Taurus. She already feels the transit. Okay. Let's get to this. Let's get to this aisle with the mirror here, okay? And then I'm going to go back. I am seeing some sort of love story here, okay? And there may be some healing that needs to happen here for some big change to happen here for you. Or you may feel like you don't have access to this gem somehow, but I'm going to figure it out, okay? We're going to figure it out. Or there may be some lamenting about your prior investments. It's like, I don't know what to say about this. It's like saying, if you want this gem, you got to give up these gold coins or something to this effect I'm feeling here with this. There's something here that you're going to need to work on here. Okay, but what's important here is it does say also it's a time to give rather than receive on this line. And there's something here about morning dew girl. Something here. Taurus. Okay, but by the time you get to this last line, and these are not beginning, middle, and end, so these can actually go over 3 different major things that are kind of occurring for you in different areas of your life, okay, around this time, during this transit, because it does cover the whole zodiac, and like I said, for you, it will play off on some major access points. Holy shit. This looks really good. This last line, it's like 8 of Swords to Temperance to 9 of Pentacles to 10 of Pentacles. Touch the sky and show the world the real you. Three of Cups is at the bottom. That's like some celebration or reconciliation, death. Five of Cups, Nine of Swords, Page of Cups, Seven of Cups, Devil. Something here, it's like, I feel like there's something here going on where it's like, choose the box, and there's like two, it's like a riddle or something that you have to figure out to make the right choice. It's like there's two choices and they both look really, really good. But if you pick the wrong one, it could be something, something. Or if you stay in the wrong place too long, and I feel like you are stuck right now on something here. And then there's something here about you giving up your, a wish fulfillment here, which is real weird. But maybe you're going to be like Scorpio and have a choice between two or something like that, and you made the wrong choice here, okay? Or something here with that going on here. Hang on, I'm going to use this real quick. Give me this fountain. I'm going to use a different deck. Give me this fountain. I feel like there's a victory here, okay, some point in here, and it may have to do with some investment that you made that you feel like is a real victory, okay? But then it's linked to the journey, and the energy is gaining momentum. So this may be a plan or something that's in action, yeah. On this fountain, okay, and I said, why is this fountain creating a storm? And then on that storm, I got the Knight of Cups, the Ace of Cups, the King of Rods. And on this fountain, I get an Eight of Cups, the Daughter of Swords, and the Empress. So I feel like there's something here, and it may have been a choice between two here. All right? You're showing up here, all right, or somebody else with that you deem as an Empress, all right, here, that you feel cut off from, or you may have walked away from, that's a highly creative project or person here that you had emotional investment for. Okay, something here with that, all right? Or there's some sort of storm brewing here, okay, about chasing one thing over another. It may be a creative project or offer, okay, with a Knight of Cups. It could be, you know, that you have to choose one project over the other. Or you going after a project is going to really piss off a rival or your partner or someone else really bad. And here on this Six of Wands, I get the Four of Cups, the Magician, and the Hangman. That's two things here. All right, I got Gemini energy, Virgo energy here, and Neptunian energy here on this Six of Wands. You're waiting for a victory on something. I told you there's something you're planning. You don't have this fully yet. And when you get it, if you get it, telling you right now, do not go brag about it to the town or your friends or whatever. Humility is going to be very important. Okay? Because you're going to have reactions from people. Okay? That will try and put spanners in the works if they get too jealous or upset. Okay? So don't be doing any victory dances that are like too crazy there, Taurus. All right? Now I got an Empress and an Emperor. On the King of Pentacles, I get the Six of Cups, the Emperor, and the Son of Cups. Some of you are going back to someone that feels like a soul tie during this period, okay? Or you just feel like the king of the world. King of the world! And I feel like you want to shout it, and you cannot. You cannot. You are not to do that over this when, whatever it is, during this time. Okay? Take it as it resonates. What is this Seven of Pentacles? But I now have a divine pair here. However, I feel that you may be separated from your divine counterpart because I have an Eight of Cups walk away, a Daughter of Swords, and the Empress on this fountain. And I had already asked you, why is the fountain creating a storm? And I see this, you know, King of Rods here with this Ace of Cups and this frickin' Knight of Cups. And the Knight of Cups is facing this fountain where I pulled the Empress. It's like, I feel like you're not with somebody that you want yet. Or you're not fully engaged in a project that you really want yet. And this project may piss a lot of other people off. Something like this, all right? What is this Seven of Pentacles here? but I have like two mega bosses here, okay? I got big boss Papa and Mama over here with the Empress and the Emperor, okay? Aries energy, and again, I told you about that Aries energy. On this Seven of Pentacles, I get the Six of Pentacles, the Hermit, and the Two of Cups in reverse. There's something here off, could be with a Virgo, could be with give and take, or other investments you made that, again, I'm going to say that effed up some sort of Two of Cups relationship here, because the Two of Cups is in reverse. I see you here in this first line, which could occur at any point over this stead, okay, because it just passed with waxing moon, the energy is gaining momentum. That there may be some sort of separation or some project that's not off the ground yet that you've been contemplating for a long time, going after, that you really, really want, and all of a sudden it's like somebody gives you freaking jet plane fuel to run your chariot, and you decide that this is what you're going after. You make this decision. It happened before, it happened after, there's some plan here. What is this Knight of Cups? Okay, and you're gearing up for it, because I mean, I got this little girl with a journey here, okay, with this little thing, and she's got like this, something about a journey here, going on here. On this some project here of really, really large magnitude, creative project, or some love here that you got here, Taurus, of a really large magnitude that you've been waiting to bring a love offer to, that got screwed up here somehow, some way, because of something that went on, okay? Or some big creative project here, okay? But some big thing here. Hang on. All right, that you're waiting for here, that there's this judgment call here that you make here, okay, that goes on over this Venus transit, where you decide, you actually lay some seeds, but they may be secret seeds. Or secret, like, I don't know, like you're gearing up here. It's what I'm feeling. And it's like, have you ever seen a dog go outside before a storm and smell the air and get really excited and run all around? That's what I feel like you feel like in this link. And you're like, a storm's brewing, but you're smiling. That's what I feel like you're feeling in this lane. All right, what is this journey? Yeah, there's like a mourning here of a loss of some kind, or yeah. That it's something that you're very, very emotional about, that you've lost, okay, that you hope to fix here or celebrate in the future here. It's like I got 5 cups, 3 cups, moon on this journey. There's been a very emotional journey tied to whatever it is here that you want to go after. Ow! Hold on. She likes my hair a lot. She likes to play with it a lot. Come up here. Come here. Do you want to come up here? Come here. See, she can already feel that Uranian energy. Lay right there, please. Thank you. I'm a freaking nut. Don't be nuts. There's something here that you want to go after really bad, and it may be, you know, something that is old. It may be an old soul tie, or somebody that feels like a soul tie, or a really important project. It could be a family project. Whatever it is, if it's a creative project, it makes you feel so good. Like you want it so bad. Like you fantasize about having this project, whatever it is. Okay, if it's a person, there's a lot of like dreamy vibes about this person. Okay, right, Tess? All right, give me this, I'm going to see here. What's this moon? You have a lot of Pisces showing up so far. Sun, moon, rising. Hi, I'll be with you in a second. Yeah. This thing over here, this journey here, I'm gonna, it's 5 of Cups, 3 of Cups, and then the moon. And I told you, I think there's somebody that you want to come back with here, or some mega freaking project that you think is gonna brew a storm. The electrical energy, and that's literally, I mean, this cat's name is Tesla, but I'm like getting electrical energy storm here in this first aisle for you, which is what I expected, and why I saved the best for last here, because this is like, you are the seed of this massive conjunction. But on this journey, Five of Cups, that indicates to me that there was a prior tower that you lost something, or something fell through on something you really, really wanted. A structure did not work out, okay? And I already have a Two of Cups in reverse over here. I already have, you may have not been able to go after a partnership, creative project partnership, or love relationship due to investments that you had somewhere else. Seven of Pentacles, okay? And or properly give and take in some relationship or partnership, attached to a creative venture and an Empress and an Emperor, just saying, okay, because of some other investments that you made. Here on this journey, it's like Five of Cups, Three of Cups, Moon, and it's like the Moon, I told you, I thought had to do with really deep emotions about a possible reconciliation or something of this sort, all right? Whether you've ever been with somebody or not, this may be new love. For some of you, this may be new love, okay? I'm not saying that you've ever been with this person if it is love. Something here, okay? And I pulled on the Moon. I got the Ace of Cups, the Lovers, and the Nine of Swords in the reverse, okay? So I feel like it's like there was a lot of sleepless nights over whatever this is, and a lot of anxiety, and that anxiety has turned to excitement now, but it's still like in the shadows, under the shadows of the Moon. Very deep emotions. But I feel like, again, with that storm where you go outside, where the dog goes outside and he smells the air and he runs around and he's like, I think it's gonna rain, like, or do you smell that storm brewing, but you have a smile on your face? That's you in this line, okay? You know what this is. I'm not gonna, out of respect for your privacy and cross watchers, I'm not gonna go down too much of a rabbit hole because of what I'm getting here, more than I already have, which I have, okay? All right, so let's see here. Let's pull on this, here in this aisle, okay, you have a tower here, and I feel like you know about this tower, because I feel like it's tied to this storm. It's like if you want to go after this gem, you have to make a tower on other things. A tower on what? There's that Seven of Pentacles. There goes, your prior investments or whatever you had previously laid your seed with. If you're breaking out of a partnership, business partnership, to form a new one, this could be applicable, right? There's that tower, and there's that Four of Cups. That's like either languishing about not being able to access your Ace of Cups. You're like, no, 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 I'm going to get my Ace of Cups, whatever it is, okay? That's a rejection. It's like Seven of Pentacles, tower, and then rejection there, gem, on that gem. Okay, but again, I have this palace here indicating that you're about to get your hands on something very valuable, but also again with that warning, all right? Not to brag about your pleasures, whatever they may be, Taurus. Okay? Give me the Seven of Wands, because there is a Seven of Wands block here. But then it's like the King of Wands is going past that Seven of Wands. Or maybe you're just blocking out the energy here. Something. Page of Cups, Six of Pentacles, and the Three of Rods. There's that give and take that was over here. It's like now you want to move. You want to bring an offer that is the Page of Cups, Six of Pentacles, proper give and take, Three of Rods. You don't know if you're going to be blocked or rejected, or if you still can, or something was waiting on. But then here's this King of Wands. I mean, this guy is like, his drum is on fire. I think he was in a lightning storm. Let's see here. Give me this King of Wands. I feel like I got to pull a different deck. But then it's like this King of Wands walks right into a Four of Swords, which is like rest, retreat. I think I'll take a nap. This happened to you a few months ago in a love reading called the Uranian Bolt or something like that, Uranian Whiplash. Go back and look at it if this is you and you're like, do I go fast or slow? Do I go after them or not? Because if that's you and this is like still occurring, it was occurring 2 months ago, except now, the universe is going to make a storm and light a fire under your ass. Taurus. All right? Give me this Four of Swords. Two of Wands, Tower, Ace of Cups. Holy shit. Yeah, there's something or somebody you want really bad. Some creative offer or something here. You may bring somebody else an offer and they say, I need to sleep on it, because now you've waited for forever and they too know that it could create some sort of tower. So they may need to sleep on it and you're like, do I have to go home while you sleep? That's what I'm getting. Okay. Do I have to go home while you sleep on it? Yeah, probably. And you're not very happy about that. Okay, but you may have to hold out here a little bit longer here. Especially if you were the one that took your sweet ass fucking time. No offense. All right, what's this Three of Swords? Magician, Five of Wands in reverse, and the Strength in reverse. You cannot hold back anymore. If this is a person, you want them so bad, so bad, so bad. You have no strength to resist. Like, I got Strength in reverse, Five of Wands in reverse, like, or you feel like you don't have the strength to compete. Could also be. Or you're dropping all the competition, you know, and you're trying to manifest this thing here. Hold on, I gotta pull a little more on this here. This is getting a little funky here. But, you know, hold on. Why is the Magician here? Knight of Swords, Three of Pentacles, and the Ten of Cups. I feel like, literally, for some of you, you want something really, really bad, okay? It may cause some sort of heartbreak with somebody else. So this could be somebody else. Whatever you want may cause heartbreak for somebody else. However, I see you going after it. Because if this is the same Taurus that has been vacillating back and forth for months and months over something they want, it's like, you know, too bad, we're going to throw in a hurricane and make you leave the house type thing. All right? We're going to throw in a hurricane and a house fire, and then we'll see, you know, if you get out of the house to go do what you want to do. You know, we're sick of, you know, the gods are sick of listening to you bitch about it, whatever it is. Okay? But something here, hold on. It's like all geared up and ready to go just to go home. I don't know. For some of you, this might just be like a temporary deflate is what I'm feeling here. A temporary deflate. Okay. Give me this Eight of Swords. Like, I feel like you may need a cold shower when you go home that night. That's what I feel like this is. That's what I feel like this is. All right. What is this Eight of Swords? Yeah, again, here on your options, okay, and your cups, all right, and like feeling like you're imprisoned here and this heartbreak, and there may be somebody else here, again, with the aspects in the sky that you feel like deflates your fire. Like you are totally head over heels in love and you feel like it should be a beautiful thing, or you're head over heels about this new project and it is freaking amazing and it's going to be amazing for your life, and you feel overjoyed with happiness, and your mother or your best friend are like, I don't think it's a good idea. And you're like, whew, and it just deflates you. You know, or somebody else's reaction that you really care about just kind of deflates, you know, kind of just takes the icing off the cake or something like that. Although it's not the cake, but it just kind of like, you're like, you know, and you just kind of there's something private about this party. That's what I'm hearing. There's something private about this party, and everybody else will catch up if they care about you later. But they may not be caught up in the beginning, and it may be a little bit deflating. You know, especially if it's something that makes you really happy. Okay? Hold on. Okay, because I feel like you've been imprisoned over it for a long time. Whatever it is here. Okay, what is this Temperance? And I also feel like somebody, if you made them wait or you did any weird shit with them, they might be like, I need to switch back. My card got full. Let me pull on this this King of Wands right here real quick. Give me this King of Wands. Because he's going like right after something and then right into a rest. It's like, you go right over there to like open a door, you're all geared up, and like, I'm not saying, but I'm just saying, like, you really want to sleep with somebody bad. Yeah. If this is love, like bad, like you go confess your love to somebody and they're like, that's nice, I gotta go to bed, I'll call you tomorrow, or I gotta think about it, and you like just like did this big, like, you know, it took you a lot to speak up, and somebody's like blown away or something by it, and it's like, I gotta sleep on it, or something like this. Okay, I think it's a temporary thing, but or it's somebody else around you. It's the towers that you know. Could be, yeah, here you are again. Yeah, there's a Queen of Swords that's all bent out of shape about this. Bent out of shape. On the King of Wands, I get the Eight of Pentacles, the Queen of Swords in reverse, and the Princess of Swords in reverse. There's somebody else here that you're afraid you're going to upset here. Okay, on this King of Wands, all right, somebody else here is like all bent out of shape. If you're breaking up with somebody and then they find out that you're dating somebody else, they're running around like a chicken with their head cut off, and they're cutting off your head and they're wielding their sword here. All right? All right? All right? And if they're involved in your work somehow, they may be trying to affect your pentacles and your work. I feel like I already mentioned that, but I feel like you've already considered that if this is you. This could be a mother, this could be anybody. Okay? But on this King of Wands, I get an Eight of Pentacles, a Queen of Swords in reverse, and a Princess of Swords in reverse. I feel like there's some sort of news that's delayed here. And it may be that this person's news is delayed on what you're going to do or something here. And again, I'm going to warn you not to brag to anybody else about what you're going to do if you break up with one person and plan to pursue another. Okay? Because I see this person very bent out of shape. Like they may be stalking you, they may watch you, they may follow you, like they are ready to invest in like their anger here. Okay? Eight of Pentacles. Like they're ready to become a master at wielding the sword in the reverse and figuring out what you're up to here. Okay? All right. Give me this Temperance here. There are two towers on this lane. I think that you knew they were coming. Okay, I think you already considered them prior to making your choices. However, you may be so overjoyed with happiness about some new thing in your life, and it could be a creative project, okay, that, you know, this could be a boss figure. You know, you could have taken her position. Maybe you get a promotion and they'll demote her, something. Or him. There's no gender in tarot. Okay, but I got a Queen of Swords in the reverse here. That can be a real bitch. She will bite your freaking head off, take no names, and verbally assault you, abusively assault you. You know? And it's like, she tries to interfere with this offer here, and then you hit this Four of Swords. It's like you sleep, you might be the one resting because she wore your ass out yelling at you or some shit like that, you know, or telling you what a bad, stupid, horrible idea you had. This person, what they say to you gets to you, regardless if they're an ex or a mother or whatever. This person has a power to deflate you or to try and wreak some havoc on your life here. Okay? Anybody that acts that way is not going to win over this transit. They're just not. Okay? You already have like rocket fuel and a launch pad and a rocket. So you're not going to stop, but you do look like you need a little rest here. All right, what's this Temperance? King of Pentacles, Two of Pentacles, Queen of Wands. There is okay, and this Sag Capricorn cusp issue has popped up several times. This could be Sag Capricorn cusp, okay? This could also be there's somebody you're waiting or you're being patient with, or you want to make a new mix here with, okay? All right, and now here you've like geared up to do this thing, and you know, you're ready for the storm, but then like there's this, almost this like, you know, have you ever waited to watch like a rocket launch on TV or live? I have. And it's like there can be delays prior to the rocket launch that last like an hour or two sometimes. But that hour or two could seem like months, you know, or days, okay? Because you were expecting it, like boom, you know, like boom. And there's like some more steps, or there's some people here that are just kind of deflating your fire. Although you have a fire, it's not like they're deflating your fire, but it's very hurtful. I want to say it that way, okay? Because the fire's here. I mean, the rocket is going off, you know, it's going. Whether anybody else likes it or not, it's going to happen. But again, this is what I expected. It may upset some other structures in your life, okay? If this is a new work project or something here, okay? And after this conjunction, like in the middle of this big change, switch over thing here that's going on for you, however it plays out for you, take it as it resonates. You may need to rest in between, and that's going to happen with this transit anyway, because our nerves, and like especially with that Uranian bolt of lightning with Mars being so strong in your sign, you are going to need to rest in between, you know, because your electrical system is going to be like just on fire, okay? And so much burning energy in it that it's like you gotta, your car is going to overheat, you know, the rocket's going to overheat, the shuttle needs like to just rest for a minute or something here, okay? Something here. All right, give me this. On this, you have to make a decision here, okay? And it maybe somebody is like, you know, you need to make a decision here. Some decisions here, okay? And temperance is called for in making these decisions. And I see this Two of Pentacles right in between this King of Pentacles and this Queen of Wands, okay? All right, and I feel like there's some financial or decisions of just how to like, you know, make this new mix and blend, turn the water into wine here. There's just a little bit of like, you know, some practical things that need to be done here to, you know, be together or continue, you know, just deal with the Ace of Cups, which, you know, you've already accepted. This Ace of Cups is like all over this thing, you know, and you're going to be able to do it, and you have protection here to do it, to make the decisions. That's showing here, okay? Then I have Nine of Pentacles, then I have Ten of Pentacles, which to me is telling me that, like, you are going to have to get your independence. Let's see how these cards go out. Yeah. Whatever you're stressed out about these truths, Nine of Swords, Ace of Swords, and the Chariot, you have to move towards your independence away from other people that are bringing you these tower moments about something you really want. Because if it's a life, heart, soul decision that you really want, I can tell you right now, if it's the same Taurus that showed up in this thing 3 months ago, okay, that was debating on whether to get in the car and when to get in the car. You traded in the car for a rocket this month, and you're going regardless, okay? However, you know, shit from the exterior, okay? And it does look like there's a couple people bent out of shape over here. You know, you're going to have to block them off, and that's what it's showing here. Like Nine of Pentacles, okay, your independence, okay, Nine of Pentacles, and I asked for clarifies on that. What's that from? Nine of Swords, that's anxiety, sleepless nights over what? The truth. Ace of Swords, about what? The Chariot. You're going towards a victory on something you really want. This is a soul, major soul arcana card linked to Cancer, where Venus is, your ruling planet. So again, I'm going to say that you are going, that, you know, there's a truth, there's some anxieties there about it, but you have to make your, you feel a little bit, you feel a little bit stressed out maybe about like being like not having everybody's support for the moves that you want to make, but you're going to make them regardless. And there's a sense of independence and freedom and excitement here that comes with that. And then right after that is the Ten of Pentacles. What's this? Nine of Cups, the Empress, and the Two of Cups. There was that Empress over there. And this is how you end your reading. That, remember what, and this Empress is tied to this Kali. She may also be a siren. They may be the same person, okay? And, you know, somebody may tell you, oh, you know, it's just lust. Or you just, you know, she is like, I don't know, something of this nature. Or you may have fallen for the decoy. I need to go back after the real thing. Something of this sort here, okay? If this is about a job, again, I told you about that too, how this could play out with work. And for some of you, it could play out with work. Or somebody could be trying to affect your work. Especially, you know, because they're pissed off about some new creative project that you want to do or something of this sort here, okay? All right? Something of this sort. For a lot of you, you are going to be some Taurus out there, probably quite a few of you are going to have some love story playing out over this transit. You just are. You just are, you just might, okay? And, you know, you may have to, you know, deal with other people's breaking hearts, but you don't have to sit there and listen to them cry forever. Okay, about whatever new thing or whatever that you're going towards, all right? And there is a need for independence here so that you can make your moves here and not let other people in. And part of the challenge for you is to just like watch out for your frayed nerves around that, because people are going to purposely try and fray your nerves to keep you right where you're at. Okay, on some semblance here or another here, okay? Hold on. There's something here, okay, with this, on this broken heart. It's like whatever you do to manifest your way out of competition and stuff and go towards something else here. It's like whatever you're coming from was not happy, because I have the Ten of Pentacles in reverse and the Three of Pentacles in reverse and the Knight of Swords in reverse on this, as well as the Strength in reverse, the Five of Wands in reverse. All right, and the Magician. So I do feel like somebody here may try and make you cry because they're crying. Something to this effect here that you may, you know, face here. Is it going to stop you? No. Is there forgiveness is important here, and like humility. Okay, I think I mentioned that in the beginning over this transit here. Okay, I need to pull something here. All right, because there's some unveiling here that's like already probably was going on for a long time, but probably really percolated or crossed your mind or really came to the fore around that Pluto Capricorn moon. Okay, may have been a period of planning or action or some sort of heightened something, which is only increased, okay? There is like a need to give rather than take, and there is some relationship here that you wanted that you didn't give to because of some other blockade, and it is involving an Empress. And you wind up here with this, and this Empress, I told you over here, it's like on this Kali, I told you, and the way that it was like you blocked off, Eight of Cups, you walked away from this goddess here, or this goddess was blocked off from you here. She was a wish fulfillment here. I feel like whatever this is, it's like you debated whether this was something to invest in or go after for a long time. Like you questioned yourself. Is this just a siren? Is this just a decoy? Is this the real thing? Do I really have feelings for this or that? Do I really want this project that bad? If it's a project, if it's work, whatever it is. And I feel like that phase is over with. You've already made your decisions, and like this is an action month. All right, with a little help and a, you know, some rocket fuel and a frickin' shuttle on a launch pad provided to you by the universe to move forward on something big that you want. that may upset somebody else, okay? You may have some kickback here, all right? It's just to be expected here. And for some of you, this could be work and a partnership and some sort of new partnership and new work deal and new business and new creative project here, okay? But for others of you, it's not. For others of you, there's a mega love story here that's gorgeous. Like, let me know how it goes, because I thought I was gonna die when I saw you guys a few months ago, like languishing over whether to get in the car to go talk to somebody on that other read. Check that reading out if you haven't seen it. It's like Uranian bolt, something, Uranian whiplash. Taurus, it's a Taurus romance for singles and troubled in love read. It's called like Uranian whiplash or something like that. And it was Uranus and Venus whiplash. Okay. There is something here though, like where somebody may try and deflate you. And again, I feel like this is about not shaking the earth in your victory dance, okay? People will celebrate with you later, just maybe not immediately. Maybe not immediately, okay? And that might really hurt because it's something that's really, 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 really exciting, passionate, and like fills you up, like promises to change your life, or you believe that it will in one way or another. You are just super, super hot for this project or person. Okay, but you know, there's just, you know, is like, are you gonna have some haters or something, possibly in your other networks? I don't think you're gonna care if you have a hater that's trying to, like, you know, wield their authority over your inward family or life or close networks. There looks like there might be one here doing that. And more than anything, you know, they're going to show their ass with it over you, you know, in the end, but it still hurts. All right. What is this? And you need to be protective from that. And I see that here, that you are. Okay. I see that here, that you are. Okay. Give me this Oscar Wilde. Whoa. On this Oscar Wilde, I get like Princess of Cups, the World, and the Wheel of Fortune. And it's like, hold on. Give me this Marilyn Monroe. Which one's that? I need a new deck. There are some changes here that like affect, again, your career and your structures here. There's some towers here, several. But you're going after something you really, really want. It promises to be very, very fulfilling. If it's a new career thing or a new business thing, it promises to be very, very fulfilling. It's definitely a divine gift. All right, that fills you with a lot of joy. Okay. All right, and there's something here about turning your back here and at some point or another on some other things here. Okay. With this Ace of Swords, it's like, it's a victory, it's a yes, but you have to make cuts to do it. Something like of this sort, to have the victory you want. You know, it's a two-sided sword, all right? Double-sided blade, whatever you want to call it. Hang on. Why is the Eight of Swords here? Why is this Page of Swords here? Why is this Devil here? Oh, shit. Hold on. Why is this devil here? There's something here with this Marilyn Monroe figure. Okay? This could be all tied to the same person here. Alright? And this person, again, might be like both of these things. Like it's a 5th and 8th house relationship. If this is a person. Okay? Well, why is this devil here? There is a slow move away from indecision here in regards to this person. It's like Knight of Pentacles, 2 of Swords in reverse, Devil in reverse. I like that. Okay? I also see here the Page of Swords, 4 of Swords in reverse, 8 of Swords. And then on this 8 of Swords, I asked what that was. I got the Ace of Wands, the Strength, and the 6 of Cups. This is a soul tie. This person is a soul tie. Like you are very hot for this person. You feel soul tie vibes to this person, who also may be a siren and have a lot of attention or get a lot of attention in one way or another. And, but also is like, has like a deep, it's like this deeply transformative sexual relationship too. So I'm going to call it a 5th and 8th house relationship, okay? Because you ain't doing all this over like a date with like somebody that doesn't mean anything here. What is this devil? Yeah, whatever like interference, if there was prior interference or warning about the loss of this person or some sort of devil-like behavior on the part of yourself or somebody else, it's like that's over. And then you go back to collaborate with this person. If you were mourning over a contract or getting a contract done with this person and news was delayed on that and you were mourning about getting that done, that gets done too. Okay? It's just like whatever was holding you back here stops. Okay? Can I have some advice for my Taurus, please? For the Venus transit Uranus, Venus transit Cancer and Mars conjunct Uranus, please. It looks like a hell of a story here for those of you that this belongs to, which I think a lot of Tauruses this will belong. There will be themes of this for many a Taurus. And for those of you that this does not have to do with your, especially let's say you're a Taurus with a 5th house sun or a 5th house moon or 4th house or a major X or 7th house, also see this playing out, or 8th house pretty strongly, okay? If you're not in here for a rising. There is 9 of Pentacles, Queen of Wands, 6 of Cups. Some of you may be, there's some pre-Empress energy here that is like, what is this? What action should I take towards this figure? You're holding on to this person. It's like overflow, like you... This person has overflowing love for you, you for them. My deck's upside down, but I got the 4 of Pentacles, Temperance, and the Ace of Cups. Wow. This is not something you're going to let go of here. Six of Swords. Okay. This is a soul tie, somebody you feel is a soul tie or could be a soul tie. With the Ace of Cups, it's either brand new, like brand new love, you've never slept together, or it's brand new, okay, in some way or another, or it's completely reborn and something about it is brand new, if that makes sense. Okay? This isn't somebody that you were with like yesterday or the day before here. This is something brand new. Battery ran out. I asked why the, I think I told you I got that, when I asked on this Queen of Wands, I got the Tower, the Knight of Pentacles, and the Star. So again, I feel like, you know, especially, and then I asked why the star was here, and I got the Hermit and Strength. You are very passionate about this person, or this person for you. This person has a lot of inward strength, or it may have taken a lot of strength to stay away from this person. With this, to have this star and the Hermit together, one or both of you may have Aquarius or Virgo in your chart. Or there's something very wise about this person, and I already told you that they may be in the public eye. Okay? And this strength could just also be indicative of this happening in this season, or there's some sort of Venus placements that are let off, aside from me covering the transit in here in the two of y'all's charts. Conjunction, trine, opposition, you know, could be with the sun, with strength here, something here, okay? I also have Scorpio here, scorpionic energy here, South Node, okay? South Node can like deal with past life connections, you know, soul tie connections, things of this sort, things that just feel like you have a soul bond with somebody, like you've known them forever kind of vibe. It looks pretty freaking intense, Taurus, and I have an Emperor and an Empress, okay? Hell of a story. Let me know how it goes, Taurus, okay? I'll be thinking of you guys. Looks beautiful. I know what I wanted to ask on that I didn't ask on. I wanted to ask on this Queen of Swords in reverse that I got here because it was real messed up. And the, yeah, shit's already popping when I started talking about that. Whoever that person is a heavy burden here. You may have some baggage to deal with them. Hold on. What is this Queen of Swords in reverse? This person may have done something to mess with you, or something to do with work. What's this Queen of Swords in reverse? Yeah, this person may have Aquarius in their chart. I get a Queen of Cups, Queen of Swords, and the stars. This person may have Aquarius in their chart. This person also may be very emotionally manipulative with the, or bent out of shape, or be able to manipulate your emotions here, or something here. Something here. Okay? What is this King of Pentacles like this here with? I see you guarding against this. I feel like you already know about this, but I see it's still hurting that this person like does this or something. Something here that this person does that's like, I don't know. What's this King of Pentacles? I mean, that's you. What's this King of Pentacles? Eight of Wands, Queen of Wands, and the World. Yeah, it's like this person tries to shut down your relationship with this Queen of Wands here, or to keep, or interfered with some communications or something here, or your forward momentum or movement here, or tries to. That part is a little bit painful here for you, Taurus, or something of this sort. Okay, what is... It's like... Why is the Princess of Swords here? This person that, if it's a person or a project or like two competing things here, it's like this person may have shut you down because of somebody else you had in your life or something like that. Or you may feel that this person's going to reject you because of somebody else that you have in your life, this Queen of Swords in reverse. Something like that. You You may have a child with this Queen of Swords, especially if it's an air sign or a pregnancy or something. Here, something. Or she just may try and spy on you or something. If you break up with her or something here. Why is this Eight of Pentacles here? You may just be like, I don't know if I have the strength to deal with the bullshit. In which case this person like really does have you like, yeah. There you are. On this Eight of Pentacles, I got the Nine of Swords, the Six of Wands in reverse, and the King of Wands. It's like there's no victory in working with this person, or something with the work with this person has to change if you worked with this person, or this is a work collaboration of some kind, or they tried to screw something up here at work that gave you a lot of anxiety or something here, or you're afraid that they're gonna gossip about you. The Queen of Swords can be a gossip. She can be a gossip. And like I said, you didn't pull for 17, or did you? A lot of people pulled for 17. No, you didn't pull for 17. Give me this 2 paths. Everybody else pulled for card 17, having to do with slander and gossip, or at least 3 signs did, which I expected around this time. And it is to be expected with phases like this, especially where they create challenges to other things in your life. People like to gossip when they're unhappy about your moves, even if they're positive moves for you or something of this sort, okay? What is this 2 paths here? Or there may be some secret that you're afraid that this Queen of Swords is going to tell this Queen of Wands that you want to go after, or something here. Something here. Give me this. Yeah. Give me this 2 paths. Yeah, you gotta make a decision here about who to bring your love and pentacles to. And you gotta make a decision on who to close cycles out with here, the world, here on this 2 paths. I mean, like, there may be somebody here that you want to remain friends with, but you can't. Because they're gonna mess up your life or try and mess up this new thing or something here. It's like on this 2 paths, I asked what this was about, and I get the 7 of Cups, the 2 of Cups, the Knight of Cups, the Page of Pentacles, and the World. You're gonna have to, like, you know, I mean, it's like one of those things where, like, I don't know if you have like a lingering ex that you still sleep with or something like that, that's been on and off, that's manipulative, especially if they're all bent out of shape and already don't want you to go after some new person or some new creative idea or some shit like that, you know. And you may work with this individual too. You may have to change that, and that might just be one of the hard parts of this. However, you have the planetary energy to do it, and those structures are going to break down anyways with the aspects that we have here in one way or another here. All right? It just, you know, I just hear you like, why can't everything be easy? Nothing, you know, of this magnitude is ever easy. But there's something here on timing that you're afraid, you know, with the timing here. And there may be something here with work, or or you feel like this person's just going to put in a lot of investment into messing with you, or there's some news that you need to bring here, possibly about something, all right, to this Queen of Wands or this other person. There may be some lying or deception that you need to share with this person that you want to go after, if this is a person here. Okay, this person may already know though, because the High Priestess is here. So you're running off your intuition in accordance with your heart and soul here on this stead, as is this other person, or this could be representative of this other person here. Yeah. Yeah. You're going to have to use your intuition here about what you know, you may have a period of sadness here due to something that somebody else does to you because of the change you want to make, or there's just something painful about the changes you want to make, even though you want to make them and you already have a rocket like launcher and you're gonna go for it kind of thing. One of those things. I'm getting here for you. Anyway, Taurus, and there's again with the Hermit. Let me know how it goes. Queen of Swords. Six of Cups. Let me know how it goes. It looks excellent. Your advice from the universe, okay, again, was to move forth. Okay? So move forth towards your Ace of Cups, whatever that is for you, okay? Everything's going to work out, Taurus, all right? I will be thinking of you. I will see you later. Let me know how it goes.